Good morning, my friends. Well, we're back from our little mini vacation of going to the Caladium Festival. And I just wanted to start with showing you what the leaf from a Caladium plant looks like. They all come from bulbs, but this is what the shape of the leaf looks like. I couldn't resist buying a few varieties. First of all, my two favorite varieties of bulbs are Dragon Heart. It looks like a heart, and the outer portion is a dark green, and the inner portion is a dark red. A dark red, like a dark, even darker than this red. And then the other one, this is Fanny Munson, just says F, but it's Fanny Munson. And that one is a pink center and with a green outside. Very, very pretty. The Pink Cloud and the Florida Sweetheart are both kind of, they have a lighter green edge and they have more mottled in the pinks and whites. So that was, and each one is supposed to have, when you go to buy them, you say, well, how many are in here? It was, in the old days, about 10, 12 years ago, they were $5 a bag. And we went about, 4 or 5 years ago, and suddenly from $5, they went to $10. So this year when we showed, and it was always 25. They used to say, well, there's at least 25 in there. So I asked the lady how, she was the owner of, it's called Florida Boys Caladiums. For anybody who wants to contact them online and, and buy any, you're certainly welcome to. And in most areas where it's cold, they suggest that you wait until, it gets a little warmer in the spring and then go ahead and put them in the ground. Now, here in Florida, we can plant them year-round, really. But on the actual bag, then it says, please plant within 3 to 4 weeks. Plant 2 inches deep, 4 inches apart. And they have their name again, the Florida Boys Caladium. If you go back and look at my videos, probably about 4 or 5 back behind this one, you'll see it says Caladium Fields. And the Florida Boys Caladiums, that was where we went. There are actually 14 different groups, families, who have 11,000 acres of caladiums in that Lake Placid area. And amazing, I mean, they've been around since the 1940s. So it's really cool. But just hang on just 1 second. I need to have 2 hands for this. Okay, so I'm back. So let's just take, yesterday I was planting Fanny Munsons, and I already have this, I have this bag already open. But I wanted to show you just what one looks like. So we're going to open the Pink Cloud, just for the heck of it. Just pick this one by. And I want to show you what the bulbs look like, because it's an unusual looking bulb. It's not a bulb that you think of. Okay, so here's one bulb, and I want to show you this. You can see, now this one's been cut. What a shame. I doubt that will even grow. Let me find another one. Here we go. And I don't want it to be on top of me. But this is what the bulb looks like. You can see it's kind of rough, crusty looking little thing. Now this one you can actually see that, well, no, you can't see that there were roots down here, but there would have been roots down here and all around. But you can see that little point right at the top. Well, that's the upside. That's where your leaves are going to come from. And remember, a caladium is more about the leaves than it is about anything blooming. That's what you're going for, those beautiful, colorful leaves. So let me try another one so we have a state of confusion. No, these are a bigger bulb. Yeah, you can see those. You can see the little hook nose on it. Now this one, tell me if you can tell where it is. I'm looking at it and I'm going, well, if I tease off the hair, I might be able to see that there might be a point there. And this feels flatter. So let's take the one we can see, okay? We'll put those back in there. Let me back you off just a little ways so you can see what I'm doing. And we read the instructions. It said plant 2 inches deep. And mine are going to be in the ground. Most are going to be in the ground. I might put a few in pots, but I'm just going to show you this. And I wanted to show you that I take a coffee filter and I put the coffee filter in there too, so that it holds back my nice soil. I've already got that in here, and so we're going to take this. It's easy as pie. And this soil is a mixture of, it was Miracle-Gro. I had some mushroom compost that I bought, and worm castings. About a quarter of it is worm castings, and then the rest is a mix of Miracle-Gro and the mushroom compost. Okay, so we're gonna kind of toss that down in there, give it a little bit of room so that we have room for our roots, and then give it a little more. And that should pretty much be our 2 inches. Maybe just a touch more. Okay, and that's how hard it is. That's a pretty easy way of doing it, isn't it? That looks really good. And then we'll just give this a little sprinkle of water. And it doesn't, remember, most plants don't need to be in a sunny location. I mean, they don't need to have the sun beating on them until they actually start producing roots and start sending up that shoot. And I'll bet that this is August 1st. I'll bet by August 8th I've already got some appearance of what's happening here. But what I did want to show you, hang on a sec. And again, I just wanted to show that to you. We're just going to stick that in, give it a little solid landing there, and then we're going to give it 2 inches of soil on the top. Now I usually plant mine further apart. They said every 4 inches, but I don't plant mine that close together. And so that's it. Again, it's going to get a little bit of a little sprinkle of water. What I probably will do is I have worm castings, so I'll put worm castings in my rainwater and mix it around, and then I'll water it in with that. Hang on one more sec. Okay, so here I am. I'm out in the front yard. Let me just turn around and show you. Okay, here's the front of the house. And the crepe myrtle. Okay, all that stuff is going to get taken out. I think it's overgrown. But here I am. This is the elm tree. Okay, sun's out, so I really don't want to go there. But I want to show you what I did yesterday. My pentas are really starting to show wear because of the extreme heat. We're between 91 and 95 every day, and it will be that for the next probably 2 months or close to it. Anyway, even though it's got a good 4 inches of mulch on it, it's still just it's just too hot. The penches on the other side where the sun is really showing, they're pretty much burnt. So what I did is I came out and I wanted to leave the pentas in the ground so that they give some cover and show. And then I dug 26 holes and tried to move out any of the roots. And then these are, these were, when people get their lawn sprayed. Oh, hello, Mr. B. When people get their lawn sprayed, they put those on there saying that, the company has been there and they've sprayed. And invariably, I find them in the street. So when I'm walking in the mornings, my efforts of keeping the streets clean, I pick these up and I bring them home because they're great little things for if you want to, prop up a plant or something like that in your pot. And they always seem like they come in black. Some of them are green. Some of them are clear. So anyway, I dug the holes, and then I wanted to put in about a cup of worm castings in the base of each hole. And then so what I did is I had Rick, after I dug the holes, then he came along with the sticks, and every one that he put a cup of the castings in there, then he stuck one of those sticks in so that he knew that he had covered it. So it was a purpose. And so then I came along and I put all my bulbs in, and then I had mushroom compost, more worm castings and what have you, and I covered it over with that. And we had a storm last night that came through and watered everything. So those are going to stay there until I can see that the bulb is actually started coming up. I did have a man stop by who cuts lawns for my neighbor, actually, and he's kind of a old I know it all kind of guy, and he came over and he said, lady, mind if I ask what you're growing with the sticks? And I was really tempted to tell him that I was growing more sticks, but I told him what I was doing, and then he had to tell me that, my penches were fried. I think he wanted some business, and I said, yes, you're right, they are, and I'm taking care of that. Thank you very much. So anyway, I'll stop it there. I'm hoping that with these in the ground and with sun and irrigation and rain, that by middle of August that I see some nice blooms coming up, some nice leaves. Matter of fact, I'll show you one over here that is a volunteer. That bulb, this bulb is probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 years old, and it still keeps coming back. Some of them are really great volunteers. Other bulbs have not returned. They made it for a few years, and then they decided that was it. That was all they had. Now it looks to me like somebody was in here chewing, but I don't know. I could be wrong. It may be. I just didn't cover that up enough. I'll show you one over here. This one comes back every year. It's only got 3 leaves on it, but still very pretty. And then I know I've shown you this one. This was a Florida White, it was called. And I could kick myself that I didn't. I bought red and I bought pink, and I forgot to buy anything that was a white variety. So anyway, I'm making this much too long. I think it's time to pull all of this stuff out. It didn't perform quite the way I wanted. It got too wild. And then maybe I'll put some bulbs in pots and put those out. So anyway, I hope you all have a great day, and remember, take one last look at the sticks I'm growing, and be sure to come back and see what they look like the middle of August. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.